Well, good morning everybody. Thanks for clicking on the video and thanks for joining me again. I'm doing a solo trip this time, left Garmer at home. It's a little chilly this weekend and I'm gonna kind of pack back in there. I gotta find a better way to keep him warm at night. He tends to roll in stuff and get dirty, so I don't want to stuff him in my sleeping bag, and so I'll have to get him his own little sleep system. I am here at the Tonto Creek. Gonna hike back in and just do a little overnight. So thanks for joining me, and I'm gonna try and be a little bit more consistent here about the video updates and stuff like that. I'm gonna do some training series. I have some little like 4 or 5 minute videos. I haven't quite decided on a name for the series yet, but it's a beautiful overcast day. It's about 37 degrees right now. A little chilly, but we'll get warmed up as soon as we get moving. You know me, I tend to overpack, so I'll be warmed up pretty quick with the weight of my pack. Alright, let's get this party started. I can hear the creek right over here, so I'm excited to get out there and see if we can find ourselves a spot. This is gonna be a good weekend, guys. Absolutely perfect temperature out here, and I don't have to pack any water with me. It's a little lighter weight. It's gonna be nice. And there's lots of oak, so we'll be able to get some coals going. I got a steak with me, so steak and my little flat grill, so I can set that out and cook over the coals. It'll be pretty awesome. Now, I was going to film me crossing right here, but with my luck, I'd be coming back to get the camera and eat. So I'll just take you across with me if I manage to make it the first time. Alright guys, now I'm really liking this area here. It's close proximity to the creek here, but I don't have to listen to it all night, like right in my ear. And there's lots of dead oak in this area. So we'll have a nice long burning fire, which will be nice because it's supposed to get down to about, I believe, like 27, 28 degrees, something like that tonight. So it'll be a little chilly. And for those of you that are looking at my pack and being like, holy crap, how much did you bring with you? Well, honestly, more than I need, but a lot of that area that's packed up in there is just my sleep system. I got myself one of those military Gore-Tex sleep systems, like the 3-layer, and because I don't know, I'm a pansy when it comes to the cold, so they're supposed to be good down to -50. I don't know how true that is. I've never tried it out, and where I'm presently at, we'll never see those kind of temperatures anyways, but it should keep me nice and toasty tonight. Yeah, I like this area. I think this is where we're going to set up camp. You can smell the elk down in here. I've been probably imagine bedding down somewhere in here in the grass. Man, pungent. On the way into town, or on the way through town, I saw 3 big bull elk right along the side of the road, just in the like Wendy's parking lot. So I imagine the rut's pretty much over if they're all friends again and hanging out. But I needed this. This is where it's at. God, I don't know. There are tons of dead oak just laying on the ground around here. It'd be easy firewood collection, which is good. It'll give me some time to film some of the things I was going to teach you guys. Now, there's not supposed to be any weather rolling in this weekend, but I don't know. Those clouds look a little ominous. I think I'll show you guys how to do a quick shelter setup, and we'll at least get my gear underneath there so I can stay nice and warm and have a dry spot tonight. Over in here looks pretty good. Pretty flat. Pitch up between a couple of those trees. It's not right on the creek. Yep. I think that's it. Alright guys, I've got a unique little opportunity that I ran into for you guys here. I actually misplaced my sunglasses earlier when I was coming in and came back to look for them, and ran into some folks collecting salamanders along the trail. And as an AZ local that's lived here all my life, I have never once seen a salamander here in AZ. And apparently these guys were introduced. I know nothing about them, so I'm gonna introduce you to Francesca and Nick here.
Hello.
That are gonna tell you a little bit about what they're doing here and these salamanders.
Yeah, so these are large blotch Ensatina. It's Schultzii calabri, and they're invasive here, or actually they're mostly introduced considering they don't do much damage to the ecosystem, or probably any damage at all. And yeah, so the theory is that there was a fire in their home range in San Diego County, and someone brought them up here so that they would survive. Which the population in San Diego is still like alive and well, but that's the theory, is that it could be something else though, who knows. But these guys are really interesting. They're actually poisonous. And this guy right here is exhibiting a defensive mechanism, which is secreting poison from his tail right here. So we're just taking photos and enjoying the scenery since we're from Tucson. And there's not many salamanders in Arizona. I mean, these aren't even native, but they're still really cool to find. And this habitat is gorgeous, so we're having a good time out here.
And you guys said there were some others down in Tucson. What did you say was the invasive one that they had?
In southeastern Arizona, there are barred tiger salamanders that aren't supposed to be in Arizona. I think they're from Colorado, right, Nick?
They're just from like all over Central West U.S.
Central West U.S. Yeah. And they actually do a bit of damage to the ecosystem. They eat practically anything that they can get their face or mouth around. Any bugs, like other salamanders. I'm pretty sure they'll even eat their own kind, which is interesting. But yeah, there's two native, or how many native salamanders are there, Nick? There's like two.
There's two native subspecies of tiger salamander.
Yeah, two native subspecies of tiger.
The Sonoran and the Arizona, and then the bards are the ones that are.
Yeah, so bards invasive and Sonoran and Arizona are here. I'm pretty sure Stevensii, which is Sonoran, is that one's really endangered. So there's only like a few cattle ponds where they breed now, and like unfortunately sooner than later they may go extinct. But
And then what did you say the name for the scientific name for these guys was?
This one is Schultzii calabri, right, Nick?
Yeah, it's Ensatina Schultzii calabri.
Yeah, there's various species of Ensatina, and all of them are from California. Some are actually in Oregon as well.
Yeah, Schultzii is the species for all Ensatina, but there's about 7 different color forms that are considered subspecies found from about like northern Washington all the way down into San Diego in California.
He's posing for the camera there.
Yeah, these
Beautiful, huh?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I think this is one of the coolest Ensatina species, just because they're, I don't know, I've never seen these before, actually. I've seen these only here in Arizona. I'd love to see them, though, in their home range, where they actually hybridize with Monterey Ensatinas. So there's Monterey large blotch and hybrids there in San Diego County, which is really interesting. And then like there's like other subspecies like up north, mostly like Oregon and Sierra Nevada and yellow-eyed Monterey. I've seen yellow-eyed in Monterey and now these, but I don't think I've seen any of the other subspecies.
Well, guys, there you have it. Learning opportunity for both of us here. And their channel, they have a channel, I'm going to do a shameless plug for them here. Touch My Rattlesnake, I believe is the name of their channel. So they're, normally you guys do snakes,
yeah,
right?
Mostly we look for snakes. I mean, when I lived in California, I would do salamanders a lot, but snakes are my main thing for sure. It's just, it's too cold right now. Like,
You should have some California salamander videos coming up.
yeah, we should. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna go up to Mendocino and look for coastal giant salamanders. So it's gonna be cool.
Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure being in your
Nice to meet
video.
you, man.
Heck yeah. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, go check them out. And I'll put a link to their channel in the description below. So, all right, back to making camp. All right, guys. Now a little disclaimer for you: salamanders are poisonous. And they excrete it through their skin. So, if you're gonna handle them, make sure you wash your hands before you eat anything. That'll make you sick. Vomiting, not really going to kill you unless you eat one of them, which I hope you're not planning on doing. But wash your hands if you insist on touching them. But I don't recommend it. Just check them out. You can take pictures of them on the ground. And that's my disclaimer. Now let's get camp set up before that weather rolls in. Alright guys, I think I've finally figured out where I'm going to set up here. A little bit of an angle upwards, but I'm going to put my head up at that end there. I was originally going to set up between these two right here, but if you look up there, you got some widowmakers that I don't really want coming down on me in the middle of the night, especially if I'm sleeping under just a tarp. So that's a little bit more promising there. Bunch of little tiny branches and no big ones that are going to fall on me in the night. So I'm going to pitch up between these two here and I'll show you how I set up that ridgeline. Look at that. Lap of luxury. Oh, what is that? Another pine cone. Much better. See, told you. Most of that was sleep system. Certainly not lightweight, but even if I didn't do a fire tonight, I'd be toasty warm. So I'm all about being comfortable, even if I got to carry a little bit extra weight. Nothing makes for a more unfortunate weekend than freezing your butt off at night. Still easier to get this thing out of here than it is to get it in. Alright. Boom. Alright guys, well, pretty much got everything all set up. Got my chair over here, got my steak later here. Strip steak, grass-fed. Good stuff. Got my little sleep system up underneath here. And I got my reindeer hide underneath here for just sitting down next to the fire, kind of laying out. Got plenty of oak. Got a good little collection of firewood here. And I got my little grill set up here. Found my little patch of sunlight over here. See how long it lasts. All right, there we go. So it seems to me like the most effective method is to take and grind the curls onto like a piece of wood first. And then there we go. So grind them onto a piece of wood first. That way you can direct your spark a little bit better, and then transfer that to your tinder bundle. That seems to be what works best. There we have it. Fire. Alright guys, I don't know if you guys can see me here at all. The lighting's a little tough. Got some good coals going there. Probably going to take my shovel and scoop some of those out underneath. I hollowed this out a little bit underneath here, so I got kind of a little cooking pit there. I can separate some of the coals over here to cook on and still have my fire going over here. I've got myself, look at that, organic beef strip steak. Gonna throw some little bit of salt and oil on that and just cook it right up. All right. Ooh, smoke in the ice. So there's beautiful coals there. Alright, got a little bit of olive oil here, a little bit of Greek seasoning. I'll just flip that with my knife. Ooh, that's pretty. Well, that didn't go well. I took it off for a second and it was like stone cold in the center. Threw them back on and yeah, they're overdone. They're still tender, but man, that bums me out. Oh well, I dropped one of them in the dirt a couple times too. Rinsed it. It just was a train wreck, but let's try this bad boy here. Wow. That's good. That's going to hit the spot. Well, good morning, guys. It's probably about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning right now. 7:30. Ooh, smoke in the eye. Sorry. Trying to get warmed up by the fire here. It was a cold night last night. The sleep system kept me pretty warm, but the wind changed direction in the middle of the night. When I built my shelter, the wind was coming from the south. As you can see, it is now coming from the north up there on the rim, which I probably should have anticipated, but you live, you learn. So yeah, it's really ripping. It actually ripped the back of my tarp here, tore off the, I'll show you. kind of dangling now, but it ripped that right out of the back of the tarp, and that's all double stitched in there too, so I'll have to get that re-sewn. It's not gonna do me much good now, but it's alright. I need to get a smaller tarp anyways. This big Defender tarp is a bit weighty and a bit much to take on these bushcraft trips. As you can see, I can basically get 2 shelters out of 1 tarp. But it was chilly. Both my water bottles are frozen solid, so I'm trying to heat this one up by the fire here. But it's I did bring my coffee this morning, so I'm happy about that. Heat up some water here and make some coffee and pack up and hit the trail. It's been a neat trip. The highlight was definitely the salamanders. I went around looking for them afterwards and couldn't find a single one, so I don't know how they found so many, but I know what they're looking for, I guess. Anyways, get warmed up here, get some water going, and make coffee. It's easier to get the water off your tarp when you can just Alright guys, well, about ready to hit the trail here, pack up the last of my stuff and head out. This wind is something else, but there you go. That was the fireplace there, and there's our camp. Like 3 rounds of both those bottles full of water. Churned it up into mud and buried it. Leave no trace, guys. Nobody be able to hike by here and see if there was a fireplace or anything like that, so make sure you're dispersing your rocks. Check and make sure they're not like super hot enough to catch a fire or anything like that before you chuck them out in the woods. And just throw some, once you get everything buried and you got everything soaked, throw some leaf litter and stuff over the top and make sure it looks like no one was here. Anyway, well, it's been an awesome trip. The salamanders were a freaking treat, even though I couldn't find any. But yeah, great little overnight, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining me.